Welcome to today's episode of The Marriage Corner. I am Viona Githinji. In today's episode, we are hosting the Kamaus, and I wouldn't want to preempt what they're going to be telling us today, and I will move straight to them for them to tell us their story. First of all, who they are and their story and how long they have been together. Over to you guys.
My name is Kamau, Karongo, and this is my wife, Margaret Gathimba, but Margaret Kamau Gathimba is the father. We are so happy to be hosted by Jicho TV, and thank you so much, Fiona, for having us. Been married for
13 years now.
13 years.
3 children.
3 children. First one is 11 years,
Yes.
8 years, and 3.5.
3.6.
And we are happy to be here. Thank you for coming to our home.
Yes.
I'm a businessman. I'm in, let's say, music, entertainment business, sound system, emceeing events, and music training, different places. And of course, I'm a counselor, and I'm also a mentor. I've mentored, not you. And of course, I'm also in politics, but right now we are trying to help and shape the leadership of this village, Kihara, Kashie, and that is where we are right now.
Thank you, Fiona, for inviting us to the show. My name is Margaret Kamau. Kamau is this guy. And of course, I'm born again and I love Christ. I work at St. Paul's University, main campus, which is in Limuru,
As
as an administrator. I have this passion for the girl child, so I run a mentorship program for the girls. I'm also into business, and I'm also trying to pursue my gift, which is music. I've done one recorded song and several others that are waiting. That is a much that we have done so far, and thank you so much.
All right, it's a pleasure for us to be here. We're really, I'm personally very excited to be here with you people. And to start us off, I think I will ask you to tell us how you two met. And I'd like the lady to tell us how you guys met and where all this started.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Fiona. We met way back in 2006 in Embu. Our church, SCK, St. Paul's Cathedral, had organized a youth concert. And of course, the youth couldn't go without inviting one of those upcoming artists that were, hot during those days.
Hot guy.
Yeah, hot guys. And Kamau Karongo happened to be in the list. And then I was also an official in the youth ministry, and I was tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that our guests were well taken care of in terms of accommodation, meals, directions, And so we got to have a conversation with him. I didn't know him then, though I just called and said, hi, I'll be in charge of your accommodation and all that. And basically that was our first contact with him. Yes.
All right, take it up.
So me, I was looking at Jesus, but she was looking at me.
Oh my goodness.
I had gone to visit their church. A guy called Mina had invited me. We had met through a certain competition, music competition. It was a Power Talent Search. So I met Embu guys, and after a few months, we can invite church yao. And while I'm there, there was a girl who was leading the service, and I could just like her presentation. She has good English, good English. And I was like, okay, endelea tu. And then after some time, I think during tea time, in the vestry, this girl comes. She looks very beautiful.
Amen.
Amen. She looks very beautiful, and she is wearing that blue trouser.
Wow.
I mean, it looked like this.
Yes, yes, it was
It looked
this
like
color.
this color.
Wow, you still remember?
I still remember, you know, some moment.
That moment of
it was that
awesomeness.
moment that, you know, I was ready and ripe, ready to look at someone. So the one I found was the one. So she's there, and she comes to serve us tea, and quickly I wanted to know her. You know, what's her name? Margaret. Okay. What do you do? I am in a business shop in Embu. All right. Nice. And I said, Lord, is she the one? So I asking the Lord quickly. Those quick prayers. You know, there are times you need.
Yes.
Lord, come first. I'm here. Near. And then I was like, I know God is not talking. And then after that, in the afternoon, again, I'm in the line tukipanga kutukule food. And I'm there now, and then she comes and talk kwa line. Again, talk kwa line, and niweka kando, nikulie kando.
Wow.
I say, this is interesting. The Lord, if you're confirming, continue confirming. And then later, before the afternoon, what do you call it? Session started, I decided to go behind the church and pray. Not just to pray, just to confirm with the Lord. Ama ni yeye, ama si yeye. I was not praying for the worship afternoon. No. Forgive me, Embu people. I was there for the Lord, but the Lord also had another idea. So I'm there, and God, is she the one? You know, I'm really asking, because me, sikuwa ever asked anyone, or I never told another girl I love you. So I was so careful with those words. So I never committed myself to anyone. Labda tu mtu adanganye hapo. Na ikiwa uko hapo nilisema kitu kama hiyo, it was in your dreams. Ikieguire. Sasa mimi I never, seriously. Awe ujui. So I'm behind the church, you know, asking myself questions. I mean, not necessarily praying, but you know, just confirming. And then nikiwa hapo nyuma ya church where no one goes, there she comes again.
Okay.
Yes, as I'm saying, I say, hello, Managa.
Man of God.
Man of God.
I called you that.
I can't remember. But of course, you know the way you are treating me.
Oh yeah.
You treat me like that. Managa.
Respect.
Man of God. So I'm behind the church, Managa is there, confirming. And then she comes. Then it was like, no, I think she's the one. Then by that time in the evening, I got her number. And that was it. And then the journey started. By the time I was going home, I texted my best friend, Eric, and told him, Eric, I think I got my wife now. I got my wife today. Then Mwangi was like, how do you know? He said, I know. Kwani ni wako? I know. It is me who knows.
So
she's been here now.
Wait, you met her and the very same day you knew she was the one?
Believe me, I knew. I don't know, I just knew. You see, I have not done this with other ladies. So when you have one and maybe you have taken your time, you are like not doubting. And again, I believe in God, and so I also believe that God was leading me in those moments. Yeah, and few months later, she said yes. Almost after 7 months, akasema yes, ndio baba, and ndio baba. So yes, we did a wedding after. Actually, we only took 1.5 years to do our wedding. From the day I met her to the day we did our wedding, it was not 2 years.
1.5.
You know, the way people date for 2 years, court for 2 years, and then wedding plan for 2 years, 6 years. Ours was below 1. It was 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, 7 months. She was already here.
Wow.
Yes, with her clothes.
Right. Lord Jesus. All right. Now, Maggie.
Yes.
While he's praying behind the church, what is going through your mind? Are you thinking the same thoughts, or are you focused on whatever brought you to the church that day?
Actually, I was totally focused on the agenda.
On Jesus.
Yes, on Jesus, and making sure that the concert runs as it ought to be. But I realized every time the guests were serving, he was missing in action. So the first time during tea time, he's nowhere to be
No.
found.
I was in the vestry. That's why you. Okay, you took me there.
Yes, I took you there because after the service, he went for tea. And after he
Nani?
went for tea,
Demwega. Thank you.
sorry,
Go home.
after the service, we went for a cup of tea. And because he had his CDs and some music albums he was selling, so he went to sign autographs. You know, people were.
They were not autographs.
I would say they were kind of. So we are here taking our tea. We're just about to get into the second service, and he's missing. So we had
The
to go
guest.
look for him. Please come and take tea because you'll be performing in a few minutes. Over the lunch session, he was queuing with the rest of the guests, the visitors. He didn't know there was a special place for the entertainers, I would say. So I had to pull him from the queue again, and you know, you should be sitting here so that we save
The
time.
Bible says, "Don't take yourself."
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You
Wait
wait
to be-
You wait to.
You're
for her.
right,
You
you're
wait
very
for her.
wise. You're very wise.
Ah.
So after that, after lunch again, he disappears again. That's when I'm finding him behind the church. I don't know what he was doing with his phone. Now I understand.
No,
he
I was not with my
praying.
phone. I was in heaven.
But you were covering it up with your
I was
with your
holding
phone.
it just to show you.
So for me, it was basically me being on duty.
Yeah.
It never crossed my mind that, you know, this would be my
No,
future
you didn't know
husband.
it, that the Lord was confirming.
But
You know,
yes,
even
yes,
that
yes.
girl who was carrying water in the Bible,
Yes,
she didn't carry water because of the guy.
yes,
But the guy told the Lord, if I find someone
yes,
that doing this, then
Yes.
that is the one.
yes,
So you use the Bible?
Yes.
Yeah, so you are doing your thing,
yes.
and yet the Lord is confirming that,
To you.
you know.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So when did it click, or when did it make sense to you now that this guy was interested in you and he's looking at you as a future wife, not
Yes.
just a girlfriend actually, because there's nowhere he's mentioned he wanted a
Yes,
girlfriend in
yes.
you. He went straight to the wife.
To the point.
So when did you know?
After he took my number that day, we started communicating, him calling, I calling, but initially we were calling each other brother and sister in Christ.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we were brethren.
Hallelujah. Brethren.
But for him, he had seen miles way ahead. So after some time, we got to talk. A few times he visited and we would take a cup of tea together. Then he started asking some strange questions.
Yeah, not strange.
They were strange because I still
were not
thought you were my
strange.
brother in Christ. So he started asking, are you dating? Are you seeing someone? So I'm like, why do you want to know all this? I thought we are brothers, you know, and sister in Christ. And then I think at that point is when I came to realize, you know, maybe he's starting to look at me in a different way. And I remember that day he asked before he left. He said, oh, okay, so who are you dating currently? I actually told him, oh, there's this guy who is eyeing me, but I don't think he's serious. And I'm not serious anyway because I am not ready.
He
for
asked this on the
dating.
first
On the
day.
Yes,
meeting.
he did.
Okay.
He did.
Me, I'm a serious person.
Oh, okay.
Yes, thank you.
Then that particular day when he asked that, he said, you know, I'm looking for a wife.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, wait a minute. I have never met a guy who is so on point. Like, this is what I want.
A guy who is on point.
He didn't beat around the bush.
Yes.
And when he left, it got me thinking. But I was like, I am not ready for this. Then I was employed. I was also in college, so that was the last thing on my mind. Then I had, even if we're gonna date, I'm giving it like 4-5 years before
So
we
she
settle.
was 19.
That was my plan. Yes.
Can I say your age?
He had a different one.
Can I say how old you were?
Yeah, go
She was
ahead.
19.
She was 19 at that time.
Yes.
When we first met.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was
So we
19.
got married when I was 21. Yes.
Right. That's interesting, and that takes some guts for a guy to just come, see, and declare,
You know,
and
now,
leave her to think about it.
yeah, you know, now if you don't know these games, because honestly, for real, me, I didn't know the games, the boys' games and the girls' games, because I really avoided them. I was serious with my Lord, Jesus.
You didn't know that you ought to have some mysteries.
There was no course or training. I just
mysteries.
For mysteries. So me, she tells me, I have this guy. I said, good. I said, that's very good. In fact, I told her, if there's that guy, let that guy know that there's another guy.
Oh yeah, I remember you said that.
Yes, let that guy know that another guy is also in the picture.
Okay.
And
and
also, and it would have been very, very hard for me to understand how such a beautiful girl, the whole of Embu, there is no guy, no one guy ambaye amemuona. Ni mimi tu nimemuona the whole Kenya. So that guy was eyeing her, confirmed that she's nice to be seen.
Oh, okay.
She's marriable.
She is marriable.
All right.
So when she told me that, I said, all right. Now another registered guy here to following you. And that other guy know that. We will see. I said, in my heart, we will see.
It was a 2-horse race.
Yes, it's a 2. And one is sick.
Right. So you left her to think about it, and you continued talking,
Yeah,
having a conversation with her.
Yep.
So did you get to invite her out, or you just did the fun thing until when?
You see, I see her the first day, and then after a month I go there. Some funny story how I went. I told her, I have some CDs I want you to give to some guy who and you are New Zealand. So this innocent girl didn't ask, why can't you send the CDs to the guy directly?
I wondered.
She didn't wonder. I think she also wanted to meet me. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why. So she's in Embu waiting. So when she told me, are you in town? I said, yes. Embu town, not Nairobi. I'm in Gashi, actually, niko na huku Kihara. And then I'm there. Hi, Maggie. Uko tao? Niko hapa tao, niko kwa shop. See, I see you shortly. She said, okay, you see me. And she said, okay. Katoka mbio kuchange nguo kwa matatu, nikamba Mungu iwe bakisha mtu mmoja. Matatu imebakisha mmoja, within 2.5 hours I'm in Embu.
Shortly.
Yes. That time kuwa na governor ya matatu, kwa hivyo iliruka nakwambia. Hapa within 3 hours I was in Embu. Nilimuuliza around saa 5:30 saa 6. By 2:30 I was in Embu. Niko hapa kwa hii hoteli. Yes. Could me relax vizuri sana kama it's like I was coming from Runyenjes. Huh? My.
You landed.
I landed, my friend. She comes. Then I have some few CDs. I even don't know whether I carried my own. I'm going to carry Jami Mathiongo.
You had, for Jami Mathiongo, they were well packaged, but yours were not.
It was so impromptu.
Yeah, it was
So yeah, amesema, yes, Nico. This is why nimemuuliza kama hako, it's because nimepata tu pesa fulani.
Okay.
Tule ta pyramid scheme. Because nimepata 2K 3K nikasema, easy. You know, they told me to reinvest back in pyramid. I said, no, niko na plan.
You won't plow it back.
Plan ni huyu. Yani she didn't believe I was not. I even didn't tell her I was in Kashi. Alijua after marriage.
Yeah. I got to know after marriage that he wasn't even in Embu.
But he's seeing you shortly.
Shortly I will see you if you don't mind. Kuna CDs
This
up.
guy is a skipper.
How was that date for you?
So sasa hizo ndizo mistari. You know, I don't know about these mistari watu wanakuanga nazo. This is serious. Uko around. Yeah. Unaruka. Yes.
Did you have a plan, or you just went?
No.
Lord, give me
no plan. That day was I want to know whether akona mtu. Don't need to waste time. Personally I felt I'm ready for to settle down, as in a relationship. So I'm sure I knew she was not, because the way I saw her, she was ready to go to college, in college. So sasa nilikuwa najua guy, if I miss her now, watakuwa akideal na exams. Na mimi niko na sasa kuna test ingine hapa ya relationship. So nikasema wacha nimetei test. Na kama atakiweza. So I was going to ask her, ako na mtu? Akasema ndio niko na mtu. Akasema good. Hajui hata mimi niko. Yeah. That was it. And then she didn't believe that mtu ananiuliza the first date. Ni date actually. Hata ikuwa date. Hata ikuwa date. It was a business meeting. According to her.
For me, yes, it wasn't a date actually, because he came with a pile of CDs.
It was a business date.
Then these CDs were not even packaged. The CDs are on, the inlays
That's what I was bringing
were
to you
all
because
over.
you are an organized person. I thought you can.
So as we take our cup of tea, he pulls them out. Then I'm like, okay. He says he wants to give the CDs to me, to give them to the guy who invited him to the concert. His name was Minor. Because when he came for the concert, there were people who requested or made an order for his CDs. He had not carried enough. So he wanted me to have the CDs, pass them on to Mr. Minor, so that Minor can give to the people who had made their orders. So I'm like, okay, are you going to give these CDs as they are? They need to be well done, packaged, put in their rightful whatever packets and all that. So as we are having our tea, I'm there just trying to organize. Naziweka ndani.
Me, I'm testing a wife.
Then I'm like, okay, this guy is so organized, but anyway, tunaweka. Then we're having our tea, then he starts asking those weird questions. Are you dating? Who are you dating?
And then near the matatu, I asked her, how old are you? No, she asked me.
Yes.
You yourself.
She's the one who asked me. She's wondering, this mature guy.
No, I was wondering, why is this guy asking me such weird questions? How old is he?
That's what she asked me. Kwa matatu, kwa nini hakuniulizia kwa hoteli? It's like anataka akiniuliza kwa matatu nikienda ajuange. Mimi ni warika gani? So I told me I'm 26. Then she said, okay, all right. Then, that's good. Then I asked her, and you, how old are you? She says, I'm 19. I said, oh Jesus, have mercy. I didn't know.
23 or
she looked
30.
like 24 in terms of how she behaved. Yeah. Because actually right now ndio naka 27.
True.
So sasa kanaambia guy 19. Sasa nikashinda sasa. How will I deal with
Underage,
what will I do with a teenager? This child abuse. What do I do now?
You're dating a teenager.
I'm dating a teenager. Man of God.
And you're on third floor.
So nikasema, my mother got married to my father when she was 17. I said, this girl is too old.
She's old enough to be a wife.
This girl needs to have a family. No, for real. My mother was 17, my father was 33. Right?
Yes.
Right? So I said, I'm too young to marry. And this is too old to be a teen now. 19. So anyway. Actually, I got encouragement from my own brother, the older brothers. They have, they are older than their wives. My father was quite,
Was way older.
my father was a grandfather. So
When he got married.
that's it. Confident. Boo. We continue.
All right. Now, from so far, I've discovered that there's an age thing. It was a concern for you. It was a concern for her too.
I don't know whether it was a concern for her. I think probably for her it was a confirmation.
Oh, okay.
But for me, it was a worry.
concern.
It was a concern.
Because we are, depending on the calendar, there are times if his birthday is in March, mine is in July. So there are times we are 6, 7. 6, 7. Because he turns earlier in March than my birthday. Like now it's 7 because he already
Turned.
had his birthday. Mine is coming in July, so it's 6, 7. At some point I thought, wow, I think the gap is too big. Yeah, I think I should get someone who's about 3, maximum 4
age
years old, or an age mate. So when I asked him his age, so I wanted to know, okay, am I ready for this? If this is gonna happen, how do I handle this? And actually I actually shared with my mom. I indirectly asked my mom, you know, Mom, if I was to get married, what age gap would you advise that my partner and I have? And my mom says, the older the man, the better.
Oh.
That's what my mom
I need to buy your
said.
mother something.
So I was like,
My
okay,
friend.
yeah, I think I can work with that. But there was now the process of me now admitting that, you know what, this guy is after something else. And currently I'm in college, I'm focusing on building my own life. So how do we move on from here? That was my struggle.
Aha.
Yes.
Take us through that. So how did you internalize it and take that bold step? Because honestly, your mind so far we can establish was nowhere close to what he was thinking about. And in today's society at 19,
Yeah.
I can imagine you are
Quite
not there
strange.
yet. So how did you get into the whole marriage thing and accept it and move on? And yeah, how was that for you?
My parents we are very good, I would say we are friends with my parents. So I really got to engage my mother and my dad on that particular conversation. Of course, my dad thought I'm too young, and my mom was giving me a benefit of doubt. You know, my mom is a bit free-willed than my dad. And I also got to talk to one of my mentors. His name is Engineer Kinyo and his wife. And I shared with them. And of course, it's as if the ladies were for it, but the guys were like, I think you should take a little more time and think about it. So I also have friends, Zippy and Grace, whom we grew up with. And I shared with them, you know, I have this guy, and the way this conversation is going, I think I see where we are headed. And they're very good friends. But you know, Maggie, we are behind you, we're supporting you, you know what? So that was the support I got from parents and friends and my mentors. Then the other thing, I took time to pray. I told him, you know what, I don't have an answer for you, but give me time to pray. And I got, was it 7 months?
Yes.
Yeah.
She prayed for 7 months.
It took me 7 months to give him an answer.
Okay.
So as far as
I'm
between
patient.
the 7 months, sisi tukiongea, I'm like, we are brother and sister. But behind the curtains, I was praying about it. You know, God, is this the right direction to take? Because then I was going through a discipleship course. And we were reading this book, what is it? A Purpose-Driven Life. Which totally changed my life and the perspective towards marriage, a career, and friendship. That you don't just get into friendships and careers and marriage just for the sake of it, just because a hot guy happens to pass your way, then you're like, let's do this. So it was one of the books that really opened my mind. You know, why do I really want to get married to this man? I even wrote down the particulars or the description of the man I would want to have, and somehow he fit into that description. One, I wanted a God-fearing man, and he was.
Man
He
of
was.
God.
I could see the love for God.
He is.
Then the age difference, at least a man who is older, not younger than me. That was my preference from the word go. When I was in high school, I'm not getting married to a guy who's younger than me. Then I'm relatively short, so I couldn't imagine myself getting married to a shorter guy, you know, or someone who's shorter than me. So I would say he scored a 90 in terms of my tastes and preferences. And that is how
That's
I got
an A. That's a strong A.
That's
Very
a strong
strong
A
A.
plus.
That's a strong A in Nakashi primary, high school, getting that.
So the strong A.
It's a strong A.
It would have earned your place in campus.
Oh, I say and.
It earned your place
A
in my
scholarship.
campus.
A scholarship.
Oh.
So that's how I got to digest the whole thing. And after 7 months, I remember I just gave you a call.
Yeah, she called me.
I just called
on
him.
one evening.
Maybe I think you're better placed to see how that call was.
No, she called me and told me I prayed and I think I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you now. I've decided that it is you. Yeah.
Yes.
She didn't say much. Yeah, I said.
7
And I was
months.
almost giving up. At that time, I was almost giving up. I said, okay, maybe she is not the one. The Lord of heaven, what did you tell me? I thought you said she is the one. I thought you confirmed. Actually, that particular month or week, I think I was almost giving up. So when she called, I said, the right time is now. And yeah.
And the journey started. So
Hey, nikaikimbiza.
7 months. All this time, you're just waiting for her to confirm if you're okay. Is it if you're going to date or if you're going to get married? So she's confirming a proposal?
Yes. Yeah, knew me, I proposed the first date.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more of
I didn't know that you
proposal.
should wait for 7 dates.
You didn't know you had to date a girl.
I didn't know how to date a girl. Me, I wanted to date my wife.
Yeah.
So we started dating after marriage. I think so.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right, so she calls you on an evening and tells you, I'm ready for you. And what was your reaction that minute when she said, I'm ready for you? How was it for you? Was
I
it
said,
just...
oh, great. But of course, I tried to behave. Then after that, I said, yeah. I called my guys. I said, she's ready. Let's move.
Let's do this.
Let's move. Let's do this. Yeah.
And what happened after that? Did you start planning the wedding? Or
Now, of course, now,
what now happened?
amesema yes, so now, nikasema now, the moment tutamit. Sasa, already those 7 months alikuwa amenijua sana. Because me, I had nothing to hide. You know, my parents, they went to be with the Lord, my siblings, they live in Gashi, what I do, my education, my job,
I had
everything.
also visited a few times.
And then, of course, I was nilikuwa naenda Embu.
I attended, I think, the first concert, the first launch of your album.
That was after you stayed.
Was
yes.
it after? Yes. At least I had known this other
first
side,
one,
the
the father said
family, but at that point we were just friends.
Okay.
Yeah. So I brought her here one time. There was a house here where we are right now. That was, and then I remember my sisters were asking. My sister called me aside and said, "Come on." She's a joker. Huyo msichana kuna mzazi. Unakuja na mzazi wake. Unasema this is your girlfriend.
Because I looked very tiny.
She was smaller. You think she's small? She was.
I was 45 kgs.
Yes.
To be precise.
Yani alikuwa rahisi kuliko cement. Sasa wacha nikwambie.
Oh yeah, a bag of 70 is 50 kgs.
Yes.
Okay.
She was lighter than cement. Sasa.
That's a bad way of
So anyway, my sister was like, "Hey, come on, huyu msichana ni mdogo. You sure amefikisha miaka ngapi?" That time she was 20.
Because I have an ID.
Yes, I took her to a friend of mine. Again, I gave her
Masaibu yako cheap.
yeah. So it was like that. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So step by step, meeting people, visiting people, kumpeleka kwa watu wawili wetu ndio wajuane. I have many siblings. My few aunties, shows wako hapa, tukaenda, they're trying to confirm also, but I'm not, si ati wa confirm kama ni wangu. Na confirm kama wako na mtu. Because I've never taken anyone to them. Sijui kupelekea mtu. Yeah.
How long did it take now for you after she said yes? How long did it take for you to start planning the wedding? And how long did it take to plan the wedding?
It was immediately. Because the moment alisema yes after 7 months, she was in this house after another 8 months. Kweli? Another
It was a year.
Another year.
Yes.
So few months later tulikuwa nimepanga, I remember tulikuwa nimepanga kufanya harusi. So we meet in We meet in this year, 2006, around August.
Yes.
Next year, February, around Valentine, ndio alisema yes.
Aha.
Time hiyo moment.
Yeah.
And then tukaanza kupanga maybe we can settle down next year,
Yes.
December. So tukaanza kuongea nini mipango. And then I remember going to visit a friend of mine in Ruben Kigame actually. I went to visit Ruben Kigame. Ruben Kigame changed my life a little bit kwa sababu aliniambia, nilimuuliza what motivates you? You know, he really is a motivator. You know, just looking at him, a blind guy who is anakuletea maji na bucket, anakuletea CD, anakuonyesha place ya kulala, you know, so many things. You know, he's a producer, he's a musician, he's a writer, he is a politician, he's almost everything that I would probably imagine. I asked him, will you tell me what motivates you? Akambia, one thing, life is short. Anaambia life is short, nikasema haya, life is short. Nikasema, and what am I waiting for? Na babuya yako kwao. Life is short, babuya. So nikakuja hapa, nikakuja from Eldoret, nilikuwa kwake nyumbani. From Eldoret nilikuja hapa, the following day nikaenda Embu. Nikamwambia Magi, hii harusi ya December, tunapanga December. Tunangojea nani December? So tuifanye April. So kanauliza, what? Why? Said, you tell me what is it that we are waiting for ikuje hiyo mwezi.
I found that quite odd. I was asking myself, why are we rushing this?
So yeah, me I wondered. Hata mimi nijiuliza tunangojea nani? Hakuna mtu anangoja kuja tusaidie. Hakuna loan inapatiwa hiyo time. You know, si mtoto anatoka shule.
Yes.
So what is it that you're waiting for? So akasema hakuna. Ndio basi, nitupangia April. Akasema okay.
So we said instead of April, I said, okay, then let's do it in August. So
Yes.
in August, you also refused.
Yes, I didn't refuse, I didn't agree.
You refused. So
Disagreement ilianza hapo.
we started disagreeing now there. So we settled for May.
No, we settled for April, but here in my church, there were two weddings.
Yes,
There was
in
Maura's
that
wedding
day.
and there was Matthew's wedding. So tukasema nikaona ingefanyika, so tukaipush to the first week of May. That May, to be precise. And
That is in 2008.
2008. Yeah.
Yes.
Aha. So big day coming. You've set the date. Of course, he's done the dowry part. The introductions are all done.
Yes.
And the big day is here. So this, according to what I've seen in life, this day is bigger for the girl
Yes.
than it is for them.
guy.
For them, I think it's just another thing happening. For you, how was this? How was this day for you? How was your heart? How was your mind? Were you anxious? Were you excited? Worried?
Wow. Yes.
Everything combined.
I would say it was a concoction of everything. Just to take you a few steps back. My home is in Embu. I would say that the second major disagreement that we had was where should the wedding take place.
Okay.
My home is in Embu. He feels we should do it here. We have relatives all over. We were having some relatives coming all the way from Nyahururu. He's from Loitoktok.
No,
Is it
my,
Loitoktok?
wako ndio walikuwa na
Yes,
wangu
but mine
wote
were the
walikuwa
major issue. So we agreed, let's get a central point. Let's do it in Ruiru so that the people in Embu
No, let's do it in Thika.
then Ruiru. We tried to look for a venue, ikakata. Then we decided, you know what, it would consume us a lot of time. You know, the way the bride has to be picked in the morning before the church service. So can you imagine, we then settled for Gashie. So nitatoka aje Embu, then be here in good time for the wedding. So we agreed because I have an uncle who lives in Kikuyu. So there was that process of, what is it called? Getting the bride from the home was done the previous on a Thursday. So we came.
It's like we had two events. So when we agreed that tutafanyia harusi hapa, one of the other challenge was watu wa hapo nyumbani kwao mahali walikuwa naishi, they needed that occasion. So tukasema we are going to plan that. The reason why we were insisting more on doing around here is because I was, let's say, more popular here in Kashie, and having a kwao pia si ati watu wao wako Embu. It is yeye na wazazi wake na church. Watu wengine wengi wako Roiro, Kivishoi to be precise. Wengine wako Kikuyu, wengine wako Dhofiri, wengine wako wapi. So the only person who had everybody in one place was me. The only person that akombali na mimi ni my sister kwa South Africa, and she came. So ni kama tuli agree na ikawa hivyo. So tukasema we will do the occasion on Thursday, tulete na wamama wamuimbie pale, waimbie, walie na walilia. Nikamwambia msichana usilie, unaolewa na mtu wa Mungu.
Jesus wept.
Okay. And then probably that is really what they needed to that at least sasa tumpeleke kwa Kikuyu town kwa babake mkubwa. Sasa on Saturday morning atolewe huko officially.
Yeah, to save time
on the distance.
Now coming to the big day, as you had asked, well, it was quite, the previous night, you really don't get enough sleep, I would say. It's you and your girls, because we were in one place, the bride and the ladies. We were in Kikuyu. And it's you just having that conversation, that girl talk, aki unasikiaje, tomorrow is a big day, do you want to change your mind? That girl talk that you have. And I was quite anxious, because I think for the bride, it's now when it sinks that, the big day has come, tomorrow, Margaret, you're somebody else's wife. Of course, there's that anxiety, will I make it? What will happen? Of course, the in-laws thing. How am I going to cope with the in-laws? What will we do when the children come? There's sorts of questions running throughout your mind. But I'm glad, 13 years down the line, of course, there have been a few struggles, but we thank God for them. But the day was awesome. The most unique thing I should mention is that I got to the church before him.
Alifika mbele yangu kwa harusi. Ni msichana alikuwa anataka kuolewa.
No, he got late.
No, I didn't get late. You came early.
No, I basically made my standards known. I'm a very good timekeeper.
Oh God, what changed? Because ladies, wale ninajua na mmoja huyu. Lakini you know what? The wedding was to start at 10. Alifika hapo 9:15.
No, it was a few minutes to 10.
No.
Just a few minutes.
No. It is me who arrived 9:45.
Okay.
You were there ahead of me. So mimi niko hapa, I'm taking my time. I knew from here to church niko na gari hapa 5 minutes.
Yes.
So hata nikitoka 9:30 niko on time. Sasa mimi as I'm doing my final touches, anasikia ati wamefika kanisani. Nikasema, oh Jesus. Oh Lord. So si ati nilichelewa, ni alifika mapema sana. So hiyo ni sign moja ya kunionyesha kwamba she supported this marriage.
She was ready for this.
He has to cover up that.
No, but that's the truth.
He was late.
Okay, then.
All right.
The good thing the husband is to accept defeat. Yes.
Abisa, she's right.
This life. Accept. Do not be right all the time. Be happy.
Happy wife.
You'd rather be happy than right.
Yes. Choose.
To be happy or to be right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the big day happens.
Yes.
And the wedding was on time.
Yes.
He may have been late, but the wedding was on time.
Oh yeah.
On time.
And how was it for you, Kamau? For her, she was anxious throughout the night, but the day has come. She's ready.
Yes.
She's there on time. How was this day for you? Were you anxious also? Were you worried?
Definitely. It was my first marriage. It was my first wife.
When were you expecting to have another wedding or what?
My first wife, first marriage, my first wedding.
Your first wedding.
Yeah, so there were many things happening, you know, and it is the first time I'm not in charge of an event. I like being in charge of an event. Nikienda mahali hata mahali, be careful nikienda kwa event yako, because it's like stuck kuna mavitu zikienda vibaya. I can move.
Yeah, true.
I can move tables. Hata mimi when I was there in a wedding, yani nikimshika mkono, I was feeling like nimwachilie nicheze keyboard kidogo. Kwa sababu nasikia kama
He actually wanted to MC in his own wedding.
nasikia keyboard anacheza vibaya. I want to leave. I said, my sister, hold on to the Lord. Nicheze pale.
Imagine.
Yeah, I felt like, you know, there were many moments, but I was excited. There were moments I was just feeling that God, you're so good. You know, almost Kengeriaring, almost.
You wept just like Jesus did.
Almost Jesus wept moment, because you know how things happened. You know, like from Embu to how things were. And, you know, we are just saying, oh, we moved from Embu to Ruido to. No, it was not easy. It was meetings and meetings and meetings. Going to meet the father, kumweleza vizuri. You know, si ati hata niko na mapesa za kuleta watu wote na mabasi. You know, but first of all, but I need to say that the mom and dad are the most supportive that I know. They were the best. Because they knew my status, so they didn't demand too much. They were just accommodative. So yeah, and they came. The wedding was nice. Watu wengi walikuja wengi, by the way. Walikuja watu wengi. Mabasi, niliona basi kubwa sana na mama wengi na vitu mingi. So yeah, it's 13 years. You can forget some things.
And it has been 13 years
Yes.
and going strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are strong.
Strong.
Are we? Okay, yes.
Strong.
All right.
I don't know how whether we can say we are strong. I think they may
By
not be
the
too
grace.
confident, but we can say that
We have
it's a day at a time.
Yes.
For me, I would say it's a day at a time. Where you just look at things, and I think everybody has known their position.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't need to fight over positions in the home, in my home, in our home.
Yes.
She knows who she is. I know who I am. We don't fight over money. I don't know, do we? And maybe because we don't have a lot. Is that so? Should we have a lot? So that we
I
can
don't
see whether.
we can fight over money. I don't think we are comfortable. I would say we are now comfortable in our own space, and we try as much as possible to communicate in matters finance. Yeah, basically this is the idea I have. This is the idea he has.
Sometimes I don't like her ideas.
Yeah, sometimes I don't like his.
Yeah. You know, mostly they have first priority is probably my number 16. Yeah.
All right.
And maybe my first priority is like, they are not even in the
110.
list. Maybe I don't for list.
310.
Maybe I want to
It's
buy
number
stones.
310.
I want to buy stones. She wants to buy clothes, you know, for her kids.
Oh.
You know, yeah. I think for me, what I know is that there is no we can be in the same.
Yeah, all the time.
But the good thing is that one thing I know and I trust her with money is because her own money, you know, also my own money, it's because I know she will not do something bad against us, against her family. I think that is the confidence.
So now that you have touched a bit on disagreements or on things that you could or do not fight about, allow me to ask, what are the challenges that you have faced that are so memorable you can actually talk about them as a couple? Maybe there's that one thing that you know, apa bado.
Yeah.
Could there be one in your 13 years? And what is it?
I have many.
Yeah. Actually, conflicts, I think you can't avoid conflicts in life, especially when you're more than one. And for us, yes, we have had conflicts. Some major, some minor. Like they don't bother you. You know, easily agree and move on swiftly. but some kind of linger for some time. That, yeah, it's like a series of events. We are agreeing today, tomorrow, no, yeah, and then finally you agree on the way forward. And one of the memorable ones I can say is the number of children that he wanted to have. So we are 2 in our family. So I felt we should just have 2 children. We don't need... Yes. So he comes from a family of 9 siblings. So he feels we should even get more than 9.
No.
And the justification he was giving is he's number 8 in his family.
Yes, I'm number 8.
So he
Note this. Number 1, mimi niko hapa.
8.
Hao watu wote wako alive.
You are nearer to 10 than nearer to 1.
Yes.
So he felt that if his parents
if
were
mama
not,
yangu
alipata 8,
stopped at 9, stopped at 6, I'm interpreting.
I wouldn't have a husband.
Yes, she will be never struggling.
Sending prayer requests.
Yes, sending prayer requests to the Lord.
And checking online dating.
Yes,
Whatever.
we are 48.
So I was like, no, seriously, in this era, who does 9 kids?
Yes.
Who does even 5? Even 5, I mean, how many families have 5 children now? So we had to decide, okay, I felt, okay, maybe 2, to be realistic, is on the lower side.
We have never decided on this. It's an ongoing struggle.
Discussion.
It's an ongoing struggle.
So we continued. So, so far we are at number 3. We are still debating on number 4 because he feels we should have more children.
At least 5.
So as for me and my house,
maybe we are blocking someone's husband or someone's
who is at
wife
number 5?
At number 5.
Not really. So
yes, maybe we are blocking an inventor. You know.
The next Bill Gates.
We are okay, Bill Gates on our wife side. On a struggle. Bill Gates. But of course, we're talking about. Anyway, that it was like a joke, but for me, I think it was serious.
No, you were serious because
I think I was serious.
He kept repeating that.
I'm saying you can distribute these children. One can be saving Bulgaria. Another one can helping Slovenia with some ambassadorial positions. One could be in Gashi becoming the MCA.
Then he was saying, by the way, he used to say that if bad people are getting many children, then the only way to counter that is for good people to get more children.
Yes, the good seed of the Lord.
So that the good
should
seed
be
prevails
distributed in the world.
Oh yes.
Yes. That's what I still stand on that. I say, if you are a good person, get more children.
I am in agreement.
If you know you are a bad person.
Yeah, maybe just before you say the other conflict that you ever had from my side, the other one was children. The other one was after we got married, definitely we now, life goes back to normal. He's doing his stuff, I'm working. So we realized, then he's into ministry, we realized, now we don't have as much time as we used to have. Probably he will come from work, then go for a ministry somewhere. His weekends are busier than the weekdays. I'm so available over the weekend because I work Monday to Friday. So I was like, hey, Bana, kwa nini when I'm available, you're not? And when he's available during the weekdays, I'm busy working. So we had to, it was actually a major issue for us, and we had to sit down and say, you know what? We have to agree on a way forward. So we agreed on a date, which was on Wednesdays. We would make sure that we go for a cup of coffee just to catch up, because over the weekend hayuko, but wakati yako available on the weekends, we try and get some time with the family. Over to you in studio.
First of all, if there are things I don't agree, Nizini nasema I better be happy than right. Ni kama hiyo siku wanasema every Wednesday we'll be doing like this and this and this. I know
I'm more of a systematic person. He's see?
Sympathetic.
No.
So
spontaneous.
So me, she tells me, oh, let's make Wednesday to be our date night. So me, I say, no, let's be getting a day. We are tunaona tu tuko free. Kunatoka job saa ngapi? 6 na mimi niko hapa, sinikuchukua tu kunywa kachai. So that is what I like with her. Sababu tukiset date, hiyo ni shida. Where are you? Huko. Sasa mimi ni mtu ambao tuko na vitu kadhaa, ma events nakuja hivi to meetings hapa. So that first of all was a disagreement in itself. Their date day.
At the time.
And the time. So the other thing that
you
was...
can't keep a lady waiting.
You waited on your wedding day. Which other day can't you wait? My sister in the Lord. Hi. The other thing that I thought was a bit interesting, I think that was the main one, you know, hiyo masiku. And then the other one was I do events, I am an MC wedding event. And then this lady, nakuja hapa anaona tu photos, niko nimefurahi kwa harusi, you know, with the couple. And she's like, I'm having a lot of fun. She's, and you know, not that with the bride, or I mean, it is like a happy thing I'm doing out there, and she's there with her life.
Yeah.
Ametoka huku manguo, maybe that time akuwa na job, and then she's on like, kwa nini uniambiange twende? Hizo mimi huwa nimekataa. Sasa najua hizi hata furahi harusi. So one day nikasema tutaenda harusi. Tutaenda ile ajui.
Yeah, you wanted to make it fast.
Ajue aende. So nikaenda, so tuende harusi tunayo. So tukaenda kufika pale, nikamweka hapo kwa kakiti, nikamwambia tulia hapo, nitakuja. Hata yeye ananiona, I can't go see her, be with her, or sit with her. Mimi niko tu kwa mic nakimbia hapa, naitwa, si unajua harusi, you wedding, unaitwa hapa, unaitwa kule, unafanya hivi. So the only thing, hey, niaje, umepata food? So narudi hapa, hey, niaje, unaona huyo madam ako pale, yule kona pelekea food tafadhali. Nikipata kwanza za high table, apelekewe. Ama soda tu. So kutoka hiyo siku, hiyo tuliso, hakujai niambia twende harusi tena. Kwa sababu he get time to be with her. Tulikuwa na yeye tukirudi. Na yeye alikuwa ananiona tu nikizunguka hivi. So sasa from that time akajua picha hizi smiles unapatanga hizo ni za picha. Si za on the ground. On the ground hakuna kucheka. Ni ufanye kazi upatie watu order harusi ishe. Sasa alafu
selfies. Maybe the other one later one was, I would say the personality crush, I would say that.
Yeah.
He's more of an extrovert. I'm an introvert. So him...
There are two parts.
Extro and intro.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
you are
you.
X, I'm in.
I'm an ex.
You're an X. So he's more of a sanguine. He's outgoing. He's so easy with people. Here I am. I am a bit held back, you know. I hold back a little.
Rika alielewa hivi, hakuna kutoka nje.
So me namuona anaongea na watu so much. How do you even start conversations with people, you know, randomly, people you've never met before?
Kama hawa.
You know, he even forgets we are with him. Tuko pamoja, so yeye wanacheka huko, mimi nimesimama hapa, I'm like, okay, what's going on here?
Ama hapa kishaki kutembea.
Imagine, just this can stretch from our home to the market. He has like 10 stopovers. A journey that's supposed to take 5 minutes will take you 2 hours. Because atakutana na mtu waongee, they catch up, 20 minutes, I'm standing there. Mi hata sielewi ni nini inaendelea. So when they smile, I smile, but I don't understand what's going on. So again, that was the other thing. I said he's more of a spontaneous person. I like
order.
Systematic. I like order. So what are we doing today? After that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Him,
it is so
like,
hard.
Yeah, we are going. We wake up one day. Okay, tunaenda. Okay, tunaenda wapi? Na nani? When did we plan this? So for me, I am like, you know what? You go alone. I just can't handle this. That would say was the other major conflict of, you know, trying to adjust and fit into each other's world.
Other major things is when you feel that probably I feel I'm disrespected. And I think for me, the one thing I learned is that I don't keep things. I bring it on my table. But actually also for long me I said that ukitaka kufunika nyumba ambayo ina leak maji, you need to go on top of the house na ufunike, uweze ukaenda ndani. So mimi nilijua kutoka zamani, I don't know where I got that from. Ni Mungu tu. Nilisema kwamba tukiwa na anything serious to discuss, si kwa nyumba, should be out there in a hotel, we discuss it. Sababu kwa nini? Ukiwa hapo nje, you are a bit controlled. You control yourself even before you are controlled by other things. So unajua kwa nyumba, unajua mahali visu ziko. Unajua where the hammer is. This is a short girl, anaweza kusimama juu ya meza. Aseme over my dead. You know, lakini kwa hoteli lazima atulie, akule chipo zake. Hizi zile visu wanatumia kwa hoteli si zile sharp. Ni zile za kukata ka soup. Za kukata soup.
Na kukata snacks.
So at least so when I feel disrespected, I would go out and tell, hey, how on earth can you say that? Really? Are you serious? And also, one thing she doesn't like is, because me, I don't like the hot. I like the Hawaii. I like the Hawaii. Tell me why, because the Hawaii is a deep thing. The Hawaii is where now you feel those other deep things that cannot be touched. And so, and now when we go out there, you felt that? No, I didn't mean it. It was not even anything close to that. So, a few times that we have gone out there to Menda to discuss the Hawaii. The hot. Or what? No, she is a hot. She is a hot girl. I'm a Hawaii man. She doesn't like me when I'm going to the Hawaii part, because for me it is serious. That is the only time I can know the facts.
The motive.
Yeah, the motive. That's the word.
That was how.
Yeah.
Right. I like where this is going. Allow me to ask, this you're allowed to answer or not. Have you at any one time covered up for either self, like one of you has covered up for themselves with a lie, simply because you knew ukweli ukipita hapa kitaumana? So the only thing I can do here is to cover up, or just lie, ipite, then life continues. Has there been such an instance? Do they know, or are we going to do this on camera?
I think for me, I'm the most genuine person here. So
what are you trying to say?
I'm the most genuine. I'm just the most genuine. I told this girl, Margaret, she's here. My friend, she is here. Very genuine. So, I think the few times, as in you covering on yourself so that you can save, is that what you're trying to ask?
Save the marriage.
I don't think personally I have anything so serious, because for me it is probably getting late from home. I may not be able to explain exactly the minute places I stopped. Like you've heard, I can stop talking to about 20 people, and so initially I could say niko hapa na siko hapo. Maybe niko Gishagi, maybe niko River, ama niko. There are some friends walikuwa nikuja, "Je, uko home?" Tukutane kwa barabara. Mimi natoka tu. Sina moja na nafika kwa barabara. The next few minutes. Nabia, "Hello kama uko?" Nakwambia niko Thika.
Yeah.
Anauliza, "Sio uko barabara?" Thika na what happened? Nambia, so nika biashara kama nishika hapa, tutaka kuongea hapa Thika alafu nitarudi. Lakini sasa kusema tuko na nani, kwa sababu najua hiyo sio biashara. Nikisema tuko na Eric Mongi sasa. Biashara gani na Eric Mongi? Eric Mongi huyu ni kutembea. Ama mtu mwingine, so nilikuwa nasema kwa biashara fulani tunaongea, lakini there is no business, probably ni kufika tu tunaenda hapo. Lakini sio ina save marriage.
Save.
And for you, Maggie?
I wouldn't say I have covered, I would say you leave out the controversial information. That's what I would say. being smart in delivery. For example, I would take an example of a financial report or a doctor's report. If they are to break some bad news to you, maybe after you've done a test, yes, it's cancer, let's assume it's cancer. A wise doctor will not tell you you're dying, by the way, in 2 months. Do you have a will? You know, they will have a smart way of delivering the news. You know, we looked at your condition, and we can tell it's a bit serious than we thought. And probably you may need to come for more visits because it looks like, you know, there's some form of malignant or whatever cells. You know, they just find some good language of breaking the news. Personally, I would say that's what I do. You know, sometimes you want to, but you just find a smart way of saying it. And we have a slogan that we say, you know, there's always a polite way of delivering a message or giving that particular statement. But I am also a bit cautious on covering up, because if you tell a lie today, you will also, it becomes a series of lies.
The bigger one to cover this.
Yeah, you have to come up with a bigger lie to cover up that one, and another bigger lie. So it becomes a consequence. Then what I fear the most is that bombshell when everything breaks.
Yeah.
So then this person realizes, oh, kumbe, it's been a series of events, lies. I would personally wouldn't want to be in that position. So I try as much as possible to be truthful in everything that I do, but where I feel I shouldn't say it as it ought to be, you just try to fix some nice words of delivering the news.
Yes. That is smart.
It's always woman.
All right, so in these 13 years, Kamau, what would you say has kept you married for 13 years? As in, it's nowadays the divorce rate is something else, but you guys are here 13 years later. From 19 years, now we can do the math for her, to now, you know? What would you say is that glue, if I may call it, so that has kept you guys together?
Surely 13 years is not 33, but again, it is not 3.
It's somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between. Do you believe this, that me, I look at this thing as that yet a thing? I don't look at it tukona 13 years. Unless now tunaangaliana ama tunaangalia maneno. But every day is that the greatest things, you know, there were days as a man, deep within me, maybe I could demand things. But right now I know what matters. For me, I tell her that what really matters for you is when your husband comes back home.
Amen.
And tell her that, and she, because I think that is the most important thing. Anything else in between, there was this or this, that is mzee amerudi. Hata maybe hana kitu ama akona kitu ama whatever. And for me, the greatest thing is to find them at home. As in nimekuja, najua nimewakuta. That for me is great. Any other demand that, you know, there is that you want everybody to come and hug you. And I'm come and sing songs of praise because the mzee is back, you know.
With some size of skirts.
With some size of skirts.
And face painting.
So, at least for me, deep within me, and I can tell that for many, many men, that is the most important thing. The things that we fight about, they are so tiny, and they should never be elevated to that other level. What has kept us is, I think, it's God Himself. So I know that there's a time I took her to a hotel in Jimuia. I told her, you know, Maggie, I don't trust you. He said, Maggie, it's a date. I don't trust you. And I'm an actor, I can be serious. I don't trust you. And then I'm waiting for her to respond, and she said, me too. Now, I don't know why you don't trust me, but this is what I don't trust. I don't trust you because my God has told me not to trust people.
Yes.
Don't put your trust in a human being. I told her that I trust the God who is in you. Because that God is faithful. And that God is my God and is my Father and He is faithful. And He will keep us. And so, for real, that is what I do. Even right now, as I'm going to do my things, she doesn't know where I go. And she doesn't know where I meet. She's in an office. There's a time she was working in an office of about 17 men. And she was the only girl. And you can imagine it is 8-9 years ago. She was younger. And I told myself that it is God that I trust. The God that won't fail us. So God, and then I would say communication. And then as you're growing older, you let little things go. And if you can deal with them, deal with them. Don't be sensational. Just deal with things. You know, I don't like that. I didn't feel it. And then she does that. That's what she does. She tells me, come on, no, and then, because we are not fighting, we are listening together, then we find ourselves in another year, another day, another month, time goes.
I think we've gotten to a point where we say it as it is. If I don't like this coat, I'll be, ay, hiyo koti yako, toa tu. And I think anaelewa. I'm not doing it because I want to hurt him or just to demoralize him. We've gotten to a point where I think we have synchronized in terms of trying to communicate with each other. There are times I would make a face and he would understand what I am trying to say. There are times he would do something and, okay, Kamau is asking me to shut up. You know, we are at that point, I would say. And then I think it has also been a process of learning and unlearning some things, because when you come into marriage, you have your background. He has his background. So you need to come to a point of, to a center of understanding each other. Personally, I would say I've been raised in, I would say, an urban center. Him, it's more of a village setup.
My village boy.
Yeah. Okay, you're not a shamba boy, you're a village boy. So it has called for a lot of learning and unlearning and trying just to accommodate each other. I would say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. And I don't even have anything to add to that. I'll just ask if you could give that one piece of advice to young couples or to aspiring couples, what would it be? And I will ask you to do that while facing now the camera, just as Kamau. Speak to them, talk to them. As in, people are coming into marriage. What do you want to tell them?
Marry. You're coming to marry. Marry each other. I can say that don't ever think that there's any perfect human being you're going to be with. People are weak in different levels, different areas. Wakikuwa nasema adoni aguruki, you know, they're not to know wenda, like in different levels. But I think if you're not willing to adjust your beliefs, not beliefs, is it beliefs?
Beliefs and way of life.
And some principles which are sometimes not normal. You know, you can be saying that I will never marry an older lady. You know, maybe some of those things are funny. They are not anywhere biblical. They will not help you in life. You know, you not get alone by saying that you not get, you know. Or I will not marry a Maasai, and then there is a girl who you love, and you know, are you getting? For me, it's ondoa hizo vitu mingi, because the things that I would look at is what do you really value as a guy, for example. What do you really value most? For me, I valued, you know, respect. That is deep. If you feel that this lady is not respecting you now, then you need to adjust that now. Either muachane ama muongee hiyo maneno mapema. What you value most, and then what she values most. Ikiona zinaingiana, go ahead. And then while wako ndani ya marriage, I would say it's communication na si iti ile ati mnaketi mnaanza kuandikana notes manini. It is saying what you feel.
Yeah.
What you feel, not exactly what you've done, what you feel about what the other person has done, what you want to do. Give the feelings, give the so that the other person can start understanding. You know, by the way, even as we're continuing right now, probably I have not said everything that I love. Probably she doesn't know everything.
Yeah.
It's a time we went to visit an lady, an auntie of mine, and then she put a mukimo ya njugu. And I said, God, I love this mukimo. That was years ago, you know, probably a few years after we got married. And then going back home, Maggie asked, you have never said you love mukimo ya njugu? I said, oh, I've never. Yeah, you have never said you love mukimo. So, there are things that you have not said everything about yourself. Surely, you have just met, you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you met I met at 19, at least hatujaishi na yeye 19 years. Kwa hivyo kuna mambo yake mengi sijui, mimi hajajua yangu mengi. So the more you continue saying what you are comfortable with, ikiwa ni kitu mzuri, the other person will keep on adjusting. When the other person kisema hivyo na you adjust, I think mtaendelea kuwa kusynchronize maisha yenu. Yes.
Maggie?
Personally, I would say get married to someone you consider a friend, because a friend goes beyond a business partner or a sibling. I would say the relationship you have with your very good friends is really awesome. You can tell them anything, you can call them at any time. You don't fear. I mean, you're naked before each other in terms of communication, investments, everything, what you feel like. It's that person you can tell the truths that you cannot tell someone else. I would say first, get married to your friend. Secondly, work at being the right person for the other person. Most of the times we all come up with a list or an agenda of the person we want to get married to. Maybe for him, he wants, this is the right woman for me. And personally, I would say this is the right man for me. But rarely do we consider grooming ourselves for that other person. That, am I the right woman for him, or is he the right man for me? I mean, you need to ask yourself that question. So as you go out to look for a spouse or someone to marry, just ask yourself, have you really invested enough in yourself to be that one person your partner will call the right woman, before you even go ticking the boxes in the other person's life? And of course, I think the buck stops with us knowing who God is and the place he takes in our marriage. We know he began the first union in the Garden of Eden. So basically, if you're doing it without God, then I would say there will be some serious struggles. But then there are times we get into an argument and we say, you know what, okay, we don't seem to agree. Can we just pray? Probably we didn't pray. You know, the arguments you don't actually think would take such a turn, you know. Maybe amefinya toothpaste vibaya and I'm like, aki kwa nini wafinya hiyo toothpaste hivyo? Then there's this comeback, I give a comeback. Then at the end of it, you're like, okay, that toothpaste is not even the issue. There was a bigger issue. Then we're like, you know what? Let's just pray about it. And when we do that, you realize there's an awesome, it's like supernaturally, there's a power that helps you now come to agree, and you come back to your senses and you're like, okay, seriously, it is not even about the toothpaste. It's this, and you fix that. God is supreme over everything, including the marriage institution.
Tunaweza kutuma salamu?
Yeah. Yes, we can. Yes, they can, right?
Yeah, my spontaneous guy.
Yes, tusalimie mam wa Embu, mam Magi na baba, pia Njoki, sister yake, sister wetu mdogo, my siblings, they are many. As you can see, I may not mention all of them. And our children, Caleb, Deborah and Joshua, I'm sure they might watch this somewhere. In Wasalimia, you know we love you so much. I think the newest couple ambao tumekuwa na yeye around anaitwa Tony and Leah.
Yes.
We want to wish you all the best. They are 1 week in marriage. They are wedding on Saturday.
Yes.
And then we want to wish like Ashambas, the Kanyas, tumesimamia wengi sana. Wengine ni
Monikas,
the Wagis,
the Kimanis,
the Kimanis, the Kamaus,
Kareris,
the Kareris, the Gidis.
Yes.
Nani mwingine?
The Kamaus.
The Kamaus.
Yes.
Tumewacha wengine, the Njoroges.
The Njoroges, yes.
And the King Simons.
Yes.
Hao wote tumewasimamia.
And the Mungais.
And the Mungais tumesimamia about 12 couples.
Oh, wamefika tu. And of course to our
na,
best couple.
na wengine ambao wako, we support in one way or the other, many of them. And of course our best couple, the Mburus.
Yes.
We love you all. You are special to us. Wish you all the best.
Yeah, of course the Chrises and the Mwangis, we have been working together.
Yes.
And the Makayas.
And the Makayas, those are special people. And there are many we can't.
There are many.
But thank you so much. Na wale mna date, kina Boni, akina Kevin, akina Getao, akina Kariuki, akina Jugona, akina Joroge, akina who, all of you, we want to tell you, behave.
Right, thank you so very much, the Kamaus. That was quite something. I have really taken my beat home. Thank you for reminding us about communication. I think that is what has surfaced, really, that disagreements and struggles are normal. But if only we would all learn to communicate in marriage, we can really go far.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding us that this thing about the list it's really not that important. At the end of the day, it is trusting that the two of you are compatible. So I agree. Let them marry. Get into
Or a
marriage.
nanny. It is not good for a man to be alone, even a woman.
I agree. So thank you very much, viewers, for staying with us this while. It has been a beautiful time, and I'm really, really grateful that you tuned in and have been together with us. All right, before we log out and before I forget, Kamau, would you tell us how to reach you on where can we get you, your number, your sites?
You can come here in Gashi. Of course, I'm on social media. My page is Kamau Karongo. I have my YouTube channel is Kamau Karongo. Twitter handle is @Kamau_Karongo and Instagram @Kamau_Karongo. And I have GN Kamau Karongo. And there's more leadership around here. I have, I think Kamau Karongo page is the one that is open, and you're welcome to please subscribe to my channels. I'm sure you'll engage more. And of course about businesses, what we do, about counseling, about mentorship, boys mentorship, about the work that we do, the sound system, the emceeing thing, and music ministry. Yes, and Margaret also has her own.
Yes, you can find me on Facebook at Kamau Margaret, YouTube, and Instagram and Twitter for now. I'm available at Kamau. Margaret Kamau.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So thank you very much, viewers, for staying with us this while. It has been a beautiful time, and I'm really, really grateful that you tuned in and have been together with us. For you to access all our other productions, and more so this very one, you can reach us on Jicho TV Kenya. That will be on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and basically we are Jicho TV Kenya. I am your host once again, Margaret, wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful time.